Claire was one of the most popular girls at her university. Everyone knew her. She always wore beautiful clothes, carried expensive bags, and seemed to have everything she wanted. Then there was Ethan. Ethan was quiet. He wore the same old jacket almost every day. His backpack was faded and he always ate lunch alone. Most students ignored him. But Ethan never complained. One morning, Claire was walking across campus when the books in her arms suddenly fell onto the ground. Before she could pick them up, Ethan quickly came over. "Let me help you." He picked up every book and handed them back to her. Claire smiled politely. "Thank you." Then she walked away. Her friends were waiting nearby. One of them laughed. "Claire, don't tell me you're becoming friends with Ethan." Claire smiled awkwardly. "No. He was just helping me." Ethan heard them. He looked down for a moment. Then he quietly walked away. Days passed. Claire began noticing something about Ethan. He was always helping people. He helped students with their assignments. He held doors open for strangers. He shared his lunch with students who had forgotten theirs. And he never expected anything in return. One cold evening, something unexpected happened. Claire's car suddenly stopped outside the university. She tried starting it again and again. Nothing happened. She looked around. The parking lot was almost empty. Then she heard a familiar voice. "Are you okay?" Claire turned around. It was Ethan. He was standing beside his old bicycle. "My car won't start," Claire said. Ethan looked at the car. "I'll call a mechanic." Claire shook her head. "You don't have to." Ethan smiled. "I know." Then he added, "But sometimes people just need someone to help." Claire looked at him differently that night. For the first time, she realized that Ethan's kindness had nothing to do with money. The next day, Claire found him outside the library. "Ethan?" He turned around. Claire smiled. "Thank you for yesterday." Ethan smiled back. "You're welcome." That simple conversation became the beginning of a friendship. Claire slowly discovered that Ethan worked part-time after university. He was helping his mother pay their bills. He didn't have expensive clothes. He didn't have a fancy car. But he had something Claire had never noticed before. A beautiful heart. One afternoon, Claire asked him, "Ethan, what do you want to do after graduation?" Ethan looked toward a group of children playing near the university. "I want to build a school." Claire looked surprised. "A school?" Ethan nodded. "A free school for children whose families can't afford education." Claire smiled. "That's a big dream." Ethan looked at her and said, "Maybe." Then he smiled. But every big dream starts with one small step. Months passed. Graduation day finally arrived. The entire university was filled with celebration. Students were taking pictures. Families were cheering. Everyone was dressed beautifully. Claire's parents arrived in an expensive car. Ethan's mother arrived on a bus. She wore a simple dress and carried a small bouquet of flowers. When she saw Ethan, she hugged him tightly. "I am so proud of you." Ethan smiled. "Thank you, Mom." Then the university principal walked onto the stage. He waited for the crowd to become quiet. "There is one more announcement before we finish today's ceremony." Everyone looked at him. "Our university has received a major donation." The crowd began whispering. The principal continued, "This donation will help build a free education center for children from poor families." Everyone applauded. Then the principal said, "And the person behind this donation is one of our graduating students." Claire listened carefully. The principal looked toward the audience. "Ethan." The entire hall became silent. Claire froze. She looked at Ethan. Ethan slowly stood up. Everyone began applauding. Claire couldn't believe it. The quiet boy with the old jacket had secretly been saving his money for years. He had used almost everything he had saved to start the education center. He hadn't told anyone. He didn't want praise. He simply wanted children to have the opportunities he never had. After the ceremony, Claire walked toward Ethan. Her eyes were filled with tears. "Ethan." He looked at her. Claire took a deep breath. "I judged you because of your clothes." Ethan smiled gently. "You weren't the only one." Claire shook her head. "But I was wrong." Ethan looked at her and said, "Maybe we all are sometimes." Claire smiled. That day she finally understood something important. A person's value isn't written on their clothes. It isn't hidden inside their bank account. And it isn't measured by how many people admire them. Sometimes the person everyone ignores is the person carrying the biggest dream. And sometimes the richest heart belongs to the person who has the least. The end. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to AZ English Tales for more emotional, motivational, and interesting stories.